Today we are back in our Bible Bros campaign that we made in D&D Beyond here. And you may notice that there are more than 9, which is where we left off last time, because we're going to be rebuilding Moses. And this is our Moses parentheses Plague Master build, because we have our regular Moses that we built before, which I'm proud of, but with some of these ideas that came from your comments, I wanted to revisit and create Moses the Plague Master. And then we're going to do the same thing. This is Saul Paul down here a little farther, and then Saul Paul the Scrivener, which essentially means scribe. And so I wanted to make sure that I reminded myself what they were going to be. Moses is still going to be a druid. I tried to throw a splash of warlock in there. This isn't done. So come on. Okay, there we go. So we are going to edit this sheet. And if I remember correctly, I wanted to make him level 8. And that is because I realized that I created a coast druid before to get access to control water. But all druids already get access to control water. And so I wanted to go with something else that would enable us to hit a couple more of the plagues in D&D. And so what we're actually going to do, I believe, is go with a mountain druid. And looking at the circle spells, we're going to confirm that that's what we want to do, because we wanted... Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Mountain. We wanted... Oh, no, am I wrong? Was it swamp? I think it was swamp instead. Yeah, so that we can get the darkness spell, because darkness covered the land. Darkness is an important one. And then finally, insect plague. So we need to be a 9th level druid for that. So, not mountain. We are going to go with swamp. Swamp doesn't exactly fit thematically, but you know what? We are going to go for it anyway. We're going to make sure that we check our optional features, because optional features are awesome. I am going to take a sip of this coffee and hope that I don't burn myself. Ooh, beautiful. Wow. All right, I feel better already. Let's continue to explore here. We are going to take the guidance cantrip, which is one of my favorite cantrips in the game. I think. Am I gonna change my mind? I might change my mind. I don't know. I also apparently have homebrew selected. I noticed on one of these spells. Oh, no, I don't have homebrew selected. Interesting. Excuse me. Wow. That's odd, because I saw a homebrew spell on here. Retaliatory resistance is a spell that I made up. Basically a better version of resistance that you can use as a reaction. But anyway, did we work on ability scores? Okay, we can bump our ability scores up. Ability score improvement. We are going to bump wisdom. And we'll bump wisdom again to increase our druid spell save DC. And we're going to not forget to bump him up to level 9. Okay. So now here's the important part. Did we do a description? Yeah, okay. So we kept a lot of things the same from the last iteration of Moses. However, we wanted to add darkness in here. I think Stinking Cloud, while not an actual plague, I think that's pretty great. Water Walk, I think, is pretty on theme. We still have some of those water spells. Freedom of movement to kind of get away from the Egyptians. And, of course, Insect Plague to get our swarming, biting locusts. Now, we are going to add in the rest of these spells. We're going to do Create Bonfire for the Burning Bush, Infestation for the Plague of Flies and other small insects, and let's see, we will go with Shillelagh, I think, so that he can hit some people with the staff. Got a comment from Roll for Tarako. Will you be making biblical magic items? Staff of Wonders, Blessed Chalice, the Jawbone Blade, the Giant Sling. Those are actually really great ideas. I was tinkering with some ideas. Actually, this could be a whole nother stream in itself. So I'll circle back to this and give you a shout out because I really like that. But I do have a note going that included some items and spells from the Book of Judges that I thought were really cool. So I'll throw a couple out there, just as a teaser for that a little bit, I guess. There is it's Jael's hammer, I believe is how that's pronounced. I believe she drove a tent spike through someone's head, and so that I'm thinking of making that double damage against prone creatures. Let's see, there's Gideon's Trumpet of Turning, which will cast Enemies Abound because he blows his trumpet, and then all of his enemies get confused and start attacking each other. And these are all legitimate stories in the Book of Judges, which I think is hilarious. There's Gideon's Wool Fleece, which he asks God for a test. And he says, okay, God, make the blanket wet and the ground dry. And then he's like, well, okay, maybe that just happened. So God, the next day, can you make the blanket dry and the ground wet? So this is a magical blanket that will always be wet in extreme heat and always dry in the rain and cold. And so we'll revisit that. I think that is a great idea. Josh's Power Walk of Destruction. Oh, that's a great one. That'd be an awesome spell. If you're able to use your movement to get around someone as a part of the spell, then they crumble and fall prone or something like that. Shout out to the walls of Jericho, which were obviously not very well constructed. Great ideas there. I'm totally willing to take a crack at that. Let's see, we have 5 levels of spells for Moses, and so I like to kind of evenly spread these out a little bit, but we're just going to go through, actually I'll start with 5 and go down and see if there is any plagues. I think Contagion is a good one. There's a lot of disease plagues. I'll already have Insect Plague, and let's see, we'll come back down if we have some more spell slots available. Here's Control Water. Got that. That is good. Giant Insect, I feel like is an on-theme sort of thing. Polymorph to turn the staff into a snake. I think that's awesome. Let's go ahead and see. Conjure Animals, maybe. I think there's a case to be made for that. Plant growth, speak with plants, stinking cloud, tidal wave. I think getting some of these water spells is appropriate here. Maybe we got darkness already on there. Now here's where it gets a little difficult, because we'll do Pass Without Trace, sure. I think I'm running out of things here to select. We have 6 more spells available, and we're already down to level 1 spells. So we'll create or destroy water. I know he does that in the wilderness. He hits a rock and creates some water. Well, I guess God creates the water, but let's see. We'll do Expeditious Retreat to get away from Egyptians. Jump long strider helps with that as well. Man, okay. Let's take some standard good spells. We'll do healing word. We'll do good berry. That's like mana, maybe in the wilderness, maybe. And we'll do absorb elements for his staff. Because we saw in the Bible video game that everyone gets a fireball attack, so he can have one as well. This coffee is good. Coffee and biscotti. It's one of my favorite snacks because I am super Italian. Well, I'm half Italian, but anyway. I feel like even if you're half Italian and your go-to snack is coffee and biscotti, it still makes you fairly Italian at the very least. Take another bite here. We had like a tub of this stuff for our rehearsal dinner, and it hardly got touched. And so for our first year of marriage, we just had a ton of biscotti in the house. And it was incredible. It was awesome. I loved it. Well, here is Moses, our plague master. He gets a lot of spells to conjure animals and insects and diseases. And we are going to take a look at these spells here. He has some stuff that he can do with his staff. Awesome stuff. All right, that is going to be it. I don't know if he gets any features that are applicable. Oh yeah, moving through non-magical terrain, but he had that already. All right, that is Moses, the Plague Master. So let's go ahead and jump over to our other sheet. This character is not ready, so we will go to the character builder.